The stage lights of America's Got Talent glowed in soft gold and blue as the next contestant's name was announced. The massive theater, filled with thousands of people, buzzed with excitement. Backstage, an 11-year-old boy named Daniel stood frozen for a moment when he heard his cue. His hands felt cold, even though the room around him was warm. He adjusted the sleeves of his neatly pressed shirt and took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm racing through his chest. This wasn't just another performance. This meant more than anyone out there could imagine. A production assistant gently placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "You're going to do great." Daniel nodded, though he wasn't sure if he believed it. He could hear the audience clapping as he stepped forward, walking into the bright lights that instantly made it impossible to see the crowd clearly. The stage felt enormous beneath his small frame. For a split second, he wanted to turn back and run into his mother's arms backstage. But he didn't. He couldn't. At the judges' table sat Simon Cowell, watching carefully as Daniel approached the center of the stage. Simon had seen thousands of contestants over the years, confident singers, nervous dancers, bold magicians, but there was something different about this boy. Daniel's steps were hesitant, yet determined, like someone carrying something heavy that couldn't be seen. "Hello," Simon said in his familiar calm tone, leaning slightly forward.
"What's your name?"
Daniel swallowed. The microphone felt bigger than his hand. "And my name is Daniel," he replied softly, his voice barely echoing through the giant auditorium.
"And how old are you, Daniel?"
Simon asked. "I'm 11. The audience let out a gentle "aw-w," charmed by his innocence. Daniel managed a small smile, but it faded quickly. He glanced toward the side of the stage where he knew his mother was watching. He couldn't see her, but he felt her presence. "Who are you here with today?" Simon continued, his tone softening as he noticed the nervous tremble in the boy's voice. "I'm here with my mom," Daniel answered. He paused, as if debating whether to say more. His fingers tightened around the microphone. "She's backstage." Simon nodded thoughtfully. "That's lovely. And what are you going to sing for us?" Daniel's heart pounded louder than the murmuring audience. He had practiced this moment in his head 100 times. He had promised himself he would not cry before the music even started. Taking a shaky breath, he said, "I'm singing a song for my dad." The entire room seemed to shift. Even the air felt heavier. Simon tilted his head slightly. "Oh? Is your dad here tonight?" Daniel's lips pressed together. For a moment, he couldn't speak. He blinked quickly, trying to hold back tears that threatened to spill. "No," he whispered. "He passed away last year." A wave of silence swept across the theater, the kind of silence that isn't empty but full of emotion. In the audience, people exchanged glances. Some placed hands over their hearts. Backstage, his mother covered her mouth, already fighting tears. Simon's expression changed instantly. The sharp, critical judge known for his tough comments seemed to disappear. In his place was a father, a man who understood loss and love. "I'm very sorry to hear that," Simon said gently. "That must be incredibly hard." Daniel nodded. He used to sing with me at home, every night. He said one day I'll stand on a big stage. His voice cracked. "So I wanted to do this for him." The audience let out a soft murmur of sympathy. Simon leaned back slightly, clearly moved. "That's very brave of you," he said quietly. "What would your dad say if he could see you right now?" Daniel looked up toward the ceiling lights, blinking through the brightness. "He'd tell me not to be scared," he said, a faint smile touching his lips. "He'd say, sing like you're in our living room." A few members of the audience chuckled softly through their tears. The image of a father and son singing together at home painted itself in everyone's minds. Simon nodded slowly. "Well, Daniel, this is your moment, whenever you're ready." Daniel moved to the center mark on the stage. The giant AGT logo glowed behind him. He closed his eyes and imagined his father standing beside him, just like they used to shoulder, harmonizing softly, while his mom cooked dinner in the next room. He remembered his dad's laughter when they missed a note and started over. He remembered the warmth of his dad's hand squeezing his shoulder after every song. The music hadn't started yet, but Daniel could already feel his emotions rising. His chest felt tight, like his heart was too big for his body. For a second, fear crept in. What if his voice shook too much? What if he forgot the words? What if he disappointed the memory of the man he was doing this for? Backstage, his mother whispered to herself, "You can do it, baby." Simon watched closely. He noticed the boy close his eyes and inhale deeply, as if drawing strength from somewhere far beyond the stage. Simon had seen confidence before, and he had seen talent before, but this was courage in its purest form. Daniel slowly lifted the microphone closer to his lips. The stage lights dimmed slightly, focusing a single spotlight on him. In that moment, the massive theater didn't feel so big anymore. It felt quiet, personal, almost like a living room. Before the first note played, Daniel whispered so softly that only the microphone caught it. "This is for you, Dad." The audience heard it. A collective breath was held. Simon's eyes glistened, though he quickly blinked it away, maintaining his composure. He folded his hands together on the desk, silently hoping the boy would find the strength he needed. Daniel opened his eyes, staring out into the sea of shadows where the audience sat. He imagined one face among them, his father's, smiling, nodding proudly, telling him he was ready. And in that fragile, powerful moment, standing alone yet feeling guided, Daniel prepared to sing not just a song, but a memory.